I was down at that time and looking for something that could help me be happier. I take baby steps slowly on my own pace. Just with daily priming for the first month, I have fully cured from bad emotions that trapping me for more than 3 years. I learned Qi forecasting and execution, which helped me make decisions for work and also personal matters. Emotional detox is also another powerful skill that I enjoy. I'm now cheerful and confident. Things happen for me as what I wish most of the time.
Hello everyone, my name is Alice. I'm from Singapore. I always wanted to join manifestations for the longest time for a very simple reason. I just want to find peace. So one day, Roy Phay appears on my social media, and very interestingly, he was saying that we can actually craft our own destiny to manifest. And that got me really curious. And therefore, I joined their weekend masterclass. During the class, I learned something very interesting, is that we can write our own command to manifest. It is something that I never thought manifestations could do. I got even more curious, and therefore I joined their Inner Circles group. Soon, I met Roy face to face, and he went through my personal chart. He gave me clarity about my career, and he helped me to reset my personal command. And I began to prime and manifest every day, believing that something good is soon coming. That same week, I received a call, and it was a career opportunity. Everything moved really fast for me. At the end of the one-to-one interview, I was actually offered a 25% increase on the spot, and I was shocked. Very emotional, and I'm deeply grateful for that. Later on, I realized that the hiring boss had been hiring for a couple of months and haven't found the right fit until I came along. I recall Coach Roy actually asked me once if I have been actively looking out. I said no. I simply closed all doors. When the moment I am really ready to look out, the one that was meant for me opened immediately. Sometimes everything happens for a reason, and when you finally decided you are ready, the universe will align itself in your favor. Thank you, Coach Roy, for your courage and guidance of Qi. Joining Inner Circles group and participating in Celestial Retreat 2026 was the best investment I've done for myself. Thank you very much.
Hi, hello. My name is Paul Chu from Singapore. I work as the Chief of Operation for a social service agency, a non-profit organization. I'm blessed with my life, like most Singaporeans, living a comfortable life and planning for retirement. I joined Roy Phay's Inner Circle as I want to seek clarity for myself so that I can focus my energy and resource to what produces the best results for me. I decided that Chinese metaphysics and Qi is the way to go. Roy's teachings are easy to follow, and I believe they are purposefully broken up into bite size so that it caters to everyone's learning needs. I like the new friends within this community as they are all very sincere, earnest, and encouraging to one another. The more seasoned seniors are always so willing to jump in to teach and coach us, so we can learn from one another. I strongly encourage you to join Roy Phay's Inner Circle coaching, but let's be real, there are no instant results. However, if you believe in Qi and Chinese metaphysics, together with a perseverance in your search and be truthful to yourself, you will find gratifications in response to fulfill your goals.
Is your channel? Yes.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you type in a yes for me if you're watching from YouTube or Facebook Live? I just want to say a good evening with everyone here. As you can see, I'm not at home tonight. I'm actually somewhere up there traveling a little bit because doing a bit of travel, but still I'm committed to do this weekly live with myself where every week we're just going to get together for like 30 minutes or maybe even 45 minutes or either to do some Q&A or we're going to talk about very specific topic pertaining to 八字, qi men, or feng shui. And as you know, this year is the fire horse year, so it's a little bit turbulence, up and down, and emotional, and you might feel a bit more challenges than before. So my purpose and my intention is just to truly serve you guys, and also very importantly is to help you answer any questions that you have. So tonight is all about you, it's all about questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in. And the reason I'm looking down is because I'm just looking at the YouTube comment, is there's any questions, or on Facebook, is there's any questions as well. So I'm monitoring both at the same time. So I might not reply as fast, but I will switch back and forth to see your questions over here. Okay, so while you type in your question, I am going to keep talking. If not, you'll be like you looking at me, and then I'll be looking at you, and then we'll be like, silent for the next 30 minutes, right? It's not very cool. Okay, so yeah, so let me explain and share a little bit about the up and coming month of June, because to me, I've been sharing this month of June with my tribe members since last year's Celestial Retreat 2025, that the month of June this year is a triple fire. Why? Because as you know, this year, or rather the 20 years period 9 cycle is under fire because of period 9. Under the Lo Shu is number 9, which is Li Gua. Li Gua, which is the only fire element in the 8 direction in Lo Shu chart. That's one. Secondly would be this year itself, 2026, is the Pink Fire Horse year, so it's a double fire. All right, and then thirdly would be the this June itself. This month of June would be the Jia Wu month, which is also a fire. All right, and as you know, Jia Wu itself, that would be the fire, burning the wood itself. So it's going to be a very, very hot month, or it's going to be a very crazy month. And I did told my tribe members like months ago, like almost every month, that just take note of this month, especially in the economy, in the market. Just be a bit careful, especially if you do trading or if you do investment. And just so you know, if you watch last night market, I believe the market has been climbing in the month of May. I think mid-April, May, the market has been climbing and break new highs. So last night seems to have some profit taking, and let's see in the next 1 week to 2 weeks what's going to happen. Right, I'm super excited to know what's going to happen. And then as on a weekly basis, we're probably going to talk about this a little bit. And I share a bit more about the market. I share a bit more about investment. I share a bit more about fire. Fire meaning financial independence, retire early. And the reason is because I'm personally going through that at this moment. as in I'm personally looking to, retire myself. Not in a way that I'll stop teaching. I believe I won't stop teaching, because I love teaching and I love sharing what I know. So, but it's more of like, that we all need to be financial independence, right? How many of you is working towards your financial independence? Type in FIRE, FIRE, if you're working towards your financial independence and to retire early as well, like me, right? Then I like to really, work with you guys, to share with you my journey. I wouldn't dare to say I can teach you. I've not been there yet, but I do know what are the strategy I'm going to take, and I'm taking bit and pieces, step by step towards that. And I do share my results every year in my celestial retreat. So if you want, you could do that. Okay. So I've the first question. Hi Roy, would you explain on how can studying 八字and Qi become a self-cultivation path? What practices help students align their inner wisdom with these universal principles for personal growth? Okay, I think there's two questions into one. So let me answer the first question. How can studying 八字 and Qi become a self-cultivation path? It's a good question. I would say 八字 alone will allow you to cultivate yourself, because 八字is a very powerful self-development tool. It gives you a very strong understanding of who you truly are. And that is what I did with my own 八字 chart. You see, I grew up by allowing people around me, especially adults, teachers, my loved ones around me, telling me, Roy, you are this, Roy, you are that, Roy, you are like this, Roy, you are like that, Roy, this is your strength, Roy, this is your weakness, and everyone around me is telling me who Roy is. I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, many a times out of love, but what it does for me is I became confused. I don't know who I am. I don't know what's my strength, what's my weakness. How many go through at this point of your life like this? You felt this at this moment. You're like confused. You don't know who you are. Type me if you don't know who you are at this moment. It's okay, right? So I learned 八字 by taking control of my life, because I don't want anyone else to read my chart anymore. Sorry, I don't want any. I used to go to like 八字 master, this guru, that person, and I keep asking everyone to read me, come tell me who I am. And to a point, I realized the more I go, the more confused I became. Because I can get my 八字 chart read by 10 different masters, they'll tell me 10 different answers. So I read myself. Because who is the best person to read your own chart? You, because you are with yourself since day one. You know your strength, you know your weakness, right? So that's 八字. I use that to become a self-development tool. In short, I built my confidence by reading my own 八字 chart. Qi, there's a few segment in Qi. So one of it is called Qi manifestation, or spiritual Qi, which includes Qi activation, manifestation, that one predominantly, or even Qi priming, which I taught in the inner circle. So this few, only one goal, to increase your vibrational energy. I know there are many talks in the market, or even on social media or on the internet. Oh, that Qi manifestation is a fluff. It's wrong, it's fake. But the truth is, manifestation remains as part of our human strength, and wisdom, manifestation. Okay, and if you check through neuroscience and everything, the scientists have already proven that we can actually, manifest, and our mind has the capability of manifestation. And in ancient wisdom, under metaphysics, under the spiritual side of metaphysics, there are also component of manifestation. All right, is one of our human so-called, like ability. So if you say Qi manifestation is wrong, okay, maybe because one say Qi Tunja is a very imperial art and whatever, it's possible, right? But I mean, thousands of students have used it. I think millions of people have used it. In terms of manifestation and Qi and things like that, it's just how you use it. So for me, for manifestation, Qi manifestation, Qi activation, and Qi priming, this three is to increase your vibrational energy. Because once you increase your vibrational energy, your minds become clearer, you become more positive, you stop going to a downward spiral. You see, everything we do in life is really effectively increasing our vibrational energy. Because once you're able to do that, you become more abundance, you become more positive, you become less emotional, which translate to your relationship become better, your health become better. And that's how, if you look at me, my face changed over the last 10 years, just because I increased my vibration energy. I mean, you can't lie to anyone by your face. I mean, unless I have a very like a face, like if you see my face and you think I'm a crook, then okay, maybe alright, so that's fine, right? But to me, you can't lie from your face, right? 相由心生, that is one of the ancient truth of Chinese, which means your face show your inner energy, your inner wisdom, your inner cultivation, right? So that's Qi. And then there is also Qi forecast and Qi execution, which actually helps you to verify your intuition, is it in alignment with the universal, right? So that is a little bit long answer to the first question. What practices help students align their inner wisdom, all right, and with this in universal principle for personal growth? I would say very simply, the practice would be a few very simple one. Personally, that's why I launched the 365 ritual, which is a personalized energetic tool for individual to know which day is your high vibrational energy day, which day are your low vibrational energy day, according to the planet's movement, the cosmic energy. And I layer in Qi energy, I layer in Bazi energy, I layer in the sunshine energy, I layer in the and other form of layering inside, right, which I include some of my own calculation as well, to really determine a person whether this day and maybe this hour and in specific this direction, is it an auspicious layering for you? If it's auspicious, then very simple. You can use that particular date, time, and direction to help you to take action. Could be closing a sales, could be sending resume, going for a job interview, or meeting important people in your life, noblemen, you meeting your mentors, or even just your family gathering, all this, or if you execute at good date, good time, and good direction, you increase your chances of getting what you want. That's the first thing. The second part, which I'm going to incorporate soon into the 365 ritual, are your lowest energy dates, which means those dates are the dates in the ancient times. They literally do nothing. they rest. That's why our ancient sages have already, broke this down into the 28 seasons as well, right? Which means every season is a timing for different things. Say, for example, you will never sow your seeds during the winter time. Your seeds will never grow. You won't have crops, right? That's a very simple logic, but I realize modern people kind of forgotten that. They like to work really hard during the winter and sow the seeds, and then they complain and then they upset why they have no crops for summer or for autumn where they should harvest, right? They're like, oh, this year I don't have any more income, I'm retrenched, I'm out of job, I cannot find a job, right? Because wrong season. Simple as that. Right? I mean, now that I more and more include metaphysics into my life, I realize there's always timing for different things. And this year, I incorporated all the low energies in my life. I realize I'm a lot more calmer despite all the turbulence that is going around in this 丙午年, right? Which is the fire horse year. I'm a lot more calmer, my life becomes a lot more stable, things still move, and I'm still growing, by the way, but I'm a lot more calmer, right? Just by knowing when to rest and when to work hard. And to me, that's powerful. Okay? Is there any more questions now? Okay, good. There's another question. Okay, great. How can learning 八字 and qi men help in our career path? Oh, very good question. Yeah. Personally, I found my ikigai, I found my destiny career through my own 八字 destiny reading and qi men destiny reading. So I would say the first thing is to know what is your destiny career. And I incorporate this with this ikigai, which is a Japanese philosophy of knowing what you are good at, what the world needs, what your passion is about, and then, and combine everything. And I'm creating a framework. In fact, I'm going to teach that over the next couple of months to my inner circle, how to read your 八字 chart and create your own ikigai. So that's the first thing, which is to know your destiny career. Because the moment you're able to determine that, like what I am doing now, life just flow for you. To be honest, you don't need to worry about money, because money will come because you are doing what you are meant to do this lifetime. That's one. Secondly, 八字 and qi men destiny chart could tell you your key strength and key weaknesses of who you are. And the moment you know your strength and weakness, is not to beat yourself up. To know your strength and weakness is so that you can self-reflect and then you can become better. So like for me, my 八字 chart did show me that I'm not strong in my discipline. And that's when I reflect back, I realized why for the first 15 years of my entrepreneurship, I struggled so much, because I didn't incorporate discipline into my entrepreneurial life, which is something that is essential, which is a core ingredient that's needed to make money as an entrepreneur. It's a little bit like you need to cook a dish, and then one of the main ingredients is soya sauce, and then you didn't put in the soya sauce, and then the dish came out like bland, like no taste. It's the same in life, right? So there will be certain success principle that's needed. Let's say you want to become a trader, which I've just taught this class just before this live. There's certain mindset, certain things you need. If you want to be in a corporate, you want to raise the rank to the C-suite, there's certain attribute and certain key characteristics you need. If you want to become a self-employed or you want to use AI to build a business, there's certain key criteria as well, which is very different, by the way, to be in the corporate and to become a full-time trader. Or you want to, let's say, become an artist, which I just recently met an artist. She's a painter, amazing painter, and all she does is painting. And I believe she make good living from that, right? So whatever you want in your career, you do need to have the skill set and the mindset to do that. And then you match it with your 八字and Qi destiny chart, and you will see if those key strength and weakness is something that matches your skill sets. So these are the two methods I will use for 八字 and Qi destiny reading for career path. Alright, and thirdly, if you want to read a bit deeper, I'll look at your 10-year luck cycle, because based on your 八字 10-year luck cycle, sometimes some people I've seen in between the luck cycle pushes you towards more like from corporate to entrepreneurship, and I've seen from entrepreneurship back to corporate as well. So it depends on individual. So this one usually on a one-to-one, that's where I help give some clarity, and through coaching is to really give the person the confidence to point them the right direction, where's the skill set, where the area to hone your skill set, so you can get ready one day, to move towards your destiny career. And by the way, just a quick one, even today you know your destiny career, I won't suggest you to quit tomorrow and switch it over. I would encourage you to do a 1 to 2 year transition plan, because most of us have commitment like family, mortgage, children, maybe elderly to take care. Unless you're single and you have zero liabilities, then yes, you can switch tomorrow. That's what I did during my 20s, right? Because I have zero liabilities. My parents are really young back then. I don't need to take care of them. I just need to be sure of my career path, and I switch and I switch and I switch. I keep testing, I keep trying many different career paths until I found the right one. Okay? Good question. I think knowing low energy period is super critical to prevent wrong decision. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hi, Roy. Not sure if operator would ask this here. Can I explain with example how Chinese metaphysics concepts influence our belief about existence of gods and gods? Okay, good question. I can share that. So I think there is a misunderstanding and there is like a mixture along the years of the ancient wisdom, how it's been passed down. Let me give you a bit of the timeline and a little bit of the origin of how Chinese metaphysics started. It started about 6,000 years ago by this first gentleman. His name is Fu Xi, right? He's like one of the godfather of Chinese metaphysics. He's the grandfather, right? In that sense. So he's the one that created I Ching. He's the one that one day saw that the horizon. Just imagine, guys. Just imagine 6,000 years ago, there's no building, zero building. And all you have is landscape, and so he saw how the sky and the earth is formed by a horizon. You know the horizon? Just one line. So he saw that that is called heaven, yang line. So that one line is called heaven, 天, right? So one line, one yang line is called heaven, right? And then he saw how the land was broken up by the river, right? So you can saw the yang line and then broken up by the river and then another yang line. So there's two short line, so it's called yin line. So it start off with yang and yin, that's it. And this is way before the Chinese even have character, even have the Chinese character. So it was all started with this one yen line and one yin line. So if you look at kan gua, kan, K-A-N, kan gua, which is one broken line on the top, one yang line, and one broken line below. So it's yin yang yin, right? Yin yang yin itself. If you look at the kan gua, which is yin yang yin, if you turn it around to vertical, it looks like the 水字, the 水 in the modern Chinese text. And that's how it derived from there. So then from Fu Xi, then it started with different sages, you know, from Qimen, from Feng Shui, which is Yang Gong, then from Ba Zi, you know, which is all the different schools, all reference back to I Ching. And all of the studies back then are only used by the emperors, are only used by the scholars or the minister who is like the advisor with the emperor. Like there's this astrologer who study the stars, and the way they get all this wisdom is by stargazing. You must understand 4,000, 3,000 years ago, there's no Netflix one. The sky get dark at about 6 p.m., 7 p.m., depending on the season, right? In China, just imagine China. And then they have a whole night from 6 p.m. They can stargaze until 12 midnight, 1 a.m. And they have nothing to do, literally. No Netflix, no smartphone, no internet, all right? Yeah, so that's what they do whole day. And they stargaze, and that's it. And then they derive how the star movement affect the energy in human and the energy in landform and the energy of the war and everything. So if you ask me, traditional Chinese metaphysics is just predominantly those elements, right? In terms of the 5 elements, which is wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, and also the mountains and the rivers for feng shui, and then the looking at the Pluto, Jupiter, the Mars, how they move, Saturn, how they move. If you came to my class before, I shared about the 9 periods is the conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter stars. Like this June, there's actually 5 phenomena that you'll see, like certain stars are getting in alignment. So those years, like maybe thousands of years ago, they'll see this as a special phenomenon, they'll document it down. And then Chinese metaphysics, in the essence of it, is stargazing. In short, it's just stargazing. And then they're just so smart to be able to come up with the pattern recognition to tell you the energy movement around it. That's it. So then how does it become superstitious? You might ask me. I don't know this part, to be honest. I don't have like a deep study into this. My guess, okay, I might be wrong, all right? Don't be upset with me if I say it wrongly, all right? If you have some very professional knowledge into this. But my guess is because such art was only being used by the emperor, the minister, those advisors. There was never open to the peasants. And then somehow the peasants or the commoners during ancient time, they need some form of support, or they need some form of, beliefs, right? So maybe somehow then it was being translated into, their local culture, their local tradition, where they have their temples, and everything. Then as it passed down years after years, generation after generation, and then from China it's passed down to Hong Kong, to Taiwan, then to Malaysia, to Singapore, to this region, then I think they start to mix the Chinese gods or culture and tradition with metaphysics. And that's where I think in modern times some people have this misunderstanding. oh, Chinese metaphysics is superstitious. That is like kind of the story behind it, right? So this is what I know, right? I might be wrong, but this is how things are being lumped together. So I always shared that the way I approach metaphysics, I'm very practical. I'm a Singaporean, by the way, very realistic. I only want to use things that sees results. Personally, I have students that came in and say, Roy, would you teach like those Taoist ritual, will you do like talisman, that kind of stuff, like very ritualistic, because I am a religious person, I can't touch these things. I say no, I will never do that. Because especially Chiman. Because Chiman, some will go into the borderline of the spiritual Chiman, that they deal with talisman and things like that, which, yeah, it has some, like lineage in there, right? It's just that it's just something I don't touch. That's all. Okay, so I hope I answer your question. It's a little bit long to that question, but I love that question. It's a really good question. Thank you. In the chart calculator, it says rate above my Gua star 7. What does that mean? Oh, it just means that that is the feng shui 9 star, and star 7 is just called 7 red. That's it. It's 1 white, 2 black. That's just the naming convention. It's just like this person is called Mary, that person is called John. Yeah, that's what it means. But if you want to go deeper, like Gua 7, then we can talk more about 7. 7 is what Gua is it? From there, how does it affect your life and things like that. And by the way, how many of you are my tribe members wants to read your feng shui destiny chart? I've been learning for the last 2 years from my master, and I feel I can teach that now, right? How many wants to learn that? Type of me if you want to learn that, or type feng shui if you want to learn that. All right, so I might teach that in the next few months, right, into the inner circle, where I'll teach you based on your feng shui Gua, what is your life about also, right? Just from your Gua alone. It's quite interesting and powerful. And if you can layer Bazi together, you can layer Qi together, you can layer Feng Shui together, which all of you have for the inner circle student. You have page 1, page 2, page 3, all the 3 pages. If you combine all 3, then you have a complete analysis of your life. And just so you know, the Gua also include I Ching. So actually it's 4 layers, right? Which is Bazi, Qi Feng Shui. Feng Shui is the 8th mansion, and then the I Ching. I Ching is the Gua, right? Yeah, so if you want to learn that, you can type in Feng Shui, right? I think that would be awesome. Okay. Thank you. Hui Fang asks, hi Roy, I read that energy in June is chaotic. What are the 3 advice that you have for people to go through this month more easily? It's a good question. Thank you for that question. I would say the first answer to that is very simple. If you ever learn manifestation with me, do your daily manifestation. If you don't have a goal or anything to manifest, then you just manifest absolute clarity, focus, and peace every day. I think in the world of chaos and the world of turbulence, the first thing you need is inner peace and inner calm, right? You need that, because if you don't have that, then you are going to be pulled all over the place by the news, by things around you. All right, so that's the first thing. So manifestation. If you are my student, then definitely priming is very important, either once a day or even twice a day. The second thing is I will encourage you to do, which I talk quite a fair bit in my video reels and everything, is this part on daily gratitude. You see, as human, many a times I just realize we've forgotten to be grateful. I'm not saying you're not grateful, but we just forgotten. We just forgotten how blessed our life is. To be honest, I mean, the fact that you can listen to this YouTube live now with me, you are blessed. I'm sure you have a roof over your head. I'm sure you have internet access. I'm sure you have a smartphone. I'm sure you have access to the world. I'm sure you are well educated, right? I'm sure you speak some good English. But do you know the truth is there are millions, and I literally mean millions of people in this world that don't have access to internet. They might have a smartphone, but they don't know how to use it except for calling or watching some silly reels every day. Or they literally don't have a chance, to like maybe take care of their family or make enough money because they just live in the environment and condition that food or survival or looking for just 3 meals a day is more critical than making money. And personally, the reason I visit Sri Lanka every year is because there are literally a lot of people in Sri Lanka alone. And you're talking about people living in mud houses near the elephant sanctuary that get killed by elephant at night and they don't even know why. And that's just Sri Lanka, a small tiny island. And there's still many, many, many places in this world, like in Africa, in Zimbabwe, in some places which you and me will never heard before. And especially now in the Middle East, people are suffering. So I think the second thing, very importantly, is to be thankful. Like, I know it's tough. I know inflation is here. I know a bowl of wonton noodle now increased by 50 cents. I know you're upset with the bus being late or the MRT broke down or there's a traffic jam. I know you're upset with all this. But if you think about the things we upset comparable to those people, I am thankful every day. Seriously, I'm thankful every day. So the second thing is to be thankful. And the third thing is really, if you ask me, I always like to review and journal and also ask myself, who am I today at this point on today's date, which is 6th of June, right, 2026, which is a very auspicious day, by the way, today. Let's compare this Roy today versus 1 year ago, versus 3 years ago, versus 5 years ago. Have I grown? Have I become better? Where am I financially? Or have my portfolio grown? Have my savings grown? Have my income grown? Or how's my relationship with my loved ones, my family, with friends around me, with my mentors, with my inner circle tribe members? And how's my health? Have I become better? Or I got worse this year, like my cholesterol shot up and I need to take cholesterol medication or whatever. Where am I in my health? And maybe where am I in my inner peace, my happiness, my life? So in my inner circle, if we talk about the circle of life, right? So if you review your circle of life today versus 1 year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago, and you have seen a growth in yourself, to me, you should celebrate. 3 things. 1, maintain your peace of mind. 2, be thankful every day. 3, review if you have grown over the years. And of course, not every area is great, right? Certain areas better, maybe you got retrenched, career-wise, took a hit. Then sure, but then you still have your family, you still have your health, things like that. So then you adjust along the way. And that's how I will see my life, and that's how I will do it. Yeah, okay. So hope I answered your question. Keep it coming, guys. If you have more questions, I'll do my best to answer everything. as much as I can. Let me look into Facebook if there's any question, because most of the question came from YouTube. Okay, so seems like Facebook, no questions. Okay, no problem. Okay, hi. I once read that double horse together in a row is a self-punishment. What does that mean? Since today is the beginning of horse month, followed by horse year, what should we do in this period? Okay, good question. Thank you so much. I think it's Meta Halim, is it? Sorry, I don't know your username. But anyway, so thanks for asking. So yes, so in 八字, in your destiny chart, if you're born in the year of the horse year, and then you are born in June month, then you get a double horse. If you are born, right, that's your 八字 destiny chart. So double horse create a self-punishment. It just means that self-punishment is nothing bad. It just means you tend to self-sabotage yourself. In layman terms, you tend to sabotage yourself. You tend to do things the opposite way, and in some ways, sometimes you just kind of self-sabotage. You just, how many actually in your life ever do something like so silly, then after that it's like, hey, why the, like I do that in the first place? Type a me if you ever did something silly. Type a silly if you ever did something silly. Come on, be honest. Right, I'm sure, like myself, I've done so many silly things in my life. Okay, so self-punishment is a little bit like that. You do something silly, that's it, right? And the goal is to be aware of it, because if you're aware of it, then it's easier for you to overcome that self-punishment or self-sabotage, right? So I like to call, there are total 4 of them. Each one is slightly different, right? Like it's like a double dragon, double horse, things like that. So I like to call them like a self-sabotage, which means you do things, I would say unconsciously, many a times, and then you kind of trip and fall yourself, right? Something like that. To me, it's nothing serious, but it's more of being aware about it so that you don't repeat the cycle. See, awareness is very, very important, right? If you want, I can, one of the live, in one of the week, I can talk about this thing called awareness. Because awareness is the key to stop you from repeating your own cycle. Is to get yourself out from suffering. The only reason we suffer is because we make the same old mistake over and over and over and over again. That's how we suffer. But once you're aware, you can get yourself out of that, then you'll be happier, because we feel powerful, we feel confident through growth. All right. So I think based on that question, the person is also asking, because this year is a horse year, horse month, coming in, correct? If you have a horse, right? If you have a horse, which means you are born in a horse year, or you're born in a horse month, or you're born between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., right? Then you have a horse hour. If you have any horse within the 八字 chart, then yes, this year you will experience the self-punishment, which means you experience the horse coming in, to form a self-punishment, and this month you'll form a second self-punishment as well. I would say that if you already have a horse in your 八字 chart, you already felt the self-punishment this year in February, March, April. You already felt it. The June, I don't think you'll feel as much, because you already get used to it in some way. Because you've been like self-punish. So when the June come, it won't be like a triple punishment, right? So don't worry, okay? It's not in a bad way. It's just saying that you already experience it. Now is how to be aware of it and get out of it, all right? And punishment sometimes might not be bad. You can use it to become better for yourself. Okay? Cool, because it gives you the awareness and things like that. Cool. Thank you. All right, Christina, hello. Don't call me Master Roy lah. I'm not master. Thank you for calling me that. Yeah, I'm not a master. So and then just so you know, I'll never call myself master also because I always say I'm a student for life. All right, so I always learning, and I'm very thankful that I can learn. And then to be honest, I'm sharing what I know, and I'm just very thankful that my inner circle students and everybody trusted me to share my life story, to share what I've done, how I achieved my success. And then I created frameworks and then incorporated with 八字 qi feng shui and make my life even better. That's all. And I feel that every one of us wants to be better in our life. How many wants to be better? Type in better for me. I'm sure you want to be better, right? I mean, the reason we learn is so that we could become better, right? The more we learn, the more we earn. And that's my belief. And I've been learning for the last 25 years. And you'll be surprised to know that I started learning after I left school. I mean, I love the education. I mean, I can't say no, right? I mean, I love the education that taught me English, Chinese, math, science. I love all this. But to be honest, to make money and to be successful in life, I probably use calculator more, to calculate. I don't really use science. English is important. My English is not that great, by the way. I learned over the years. But I truly learn when I read books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. Many, many books. I've read hundreds of books now. Attend all the seminars. That's where I learn, right? And by learning, I earn over the years. So back to the question, how to manifest. To be honest, the fastest answer is get in touch with my team or go to royphay.com, and I invite you to join my weekend masterclass, right? Which I'm still hosting it every month or so nowadays. We have scheduled till end of the year. So join my weekend Achievement Manifestation Masterclass. Give me a weekend. I need a weekend to teach you properly how to manifest, right? And after a weekend, and then you realize this is not for you, then just come back and just tell us this is not for you. Then it's okay. We'll refund you. It's fine, right? Because to me, I believe everybody can manifest. In fact, kids are the best manifester. How many realize that kids are the best manifester? Yeah, I literally have a mom who is a leader, and the kid is a snake. I think 8 years old back then. And then the mom loved to go jogging. And there'll be days in Singapore, like maybe evening, 4, 5 p.m., then the sky will turn gray. And then the mom couldn't command the snake, I don't know why. So the mom will always beg the son, son, can you tell your snake to move away the clouds so I can jog for like 15, 20 minutes, come back, and then can rain. And then the son will be like, come on, mom, do it yourself. The typical 8 years old, 10 years old kid, right? And then it's like, okay, I'll help you. Then the son will do it. And then literally, the sun will come out, like, bright sky. And then the mom go jogging, came back, and then it rains. It happens so many times. So yeah, so kids are the best manifester, if you ask me. Yeah, so maybe Christina, I'll just give you a quick answer. To manifest, firstly, you need to know what's your goal. What do you want to achieve? I think that is the most important. Most people just say, oh, you need to know your destiny universe, you need to know your destiny direction, and then you just command every day. It's true, you can get it, but then sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't get it. The way I teach it, why I need 2 days is because the first half of the Saturday, I take time to run through with you what's important to you in your life, what goals you like to achieve. Like maybe your goal will take 6 months to 1 year to achieve. And if you have a 6 months goal, you don't command the one goal to 6 months. You see, life is like that. I'm sure all of us know this, but it's just that we don't practice it when we go put into goal setting. A very good example. You want to fly from Singapore to London, or you want to drive from Jurong to Sengkang, for example, right? Or you want to get a promotion, whatever we want in our life. It's not a single line. It's not you do one step and then you achieve your goal. It's multiple. It's like the pilot needs to keep, adjusting the direction because of the earth turning, there's wind and all these things, right? You need to start, stop, you need to, maybe there's an accident, you need to detour, to get to Sengkang, or you need to stop for traffic light, you stop for zebra crossing and things like that. Or to get to promotion, maybe you need to work overnight, or maybe you need to build relationship with your boss. There are many things to achieve one goal. But most of us thought that through Qi manifestation, we could just manifest one command and voila, we achieve our goal. It can happen if you do it smartly, which I did it before many times, but you need to, do a step by step. So that's by knowing what's important for you, what's your SMART goal, 6 months, and then you pull it down to the next 2 to 4 weeks. So usually in my weekend masterclass, I teach students how to manifest for the next 2 to 4 weeks goal. Because once you achieve that, you can move on to the next 2 to 4 weeks, the next 2 to 4 weeks. Then ultimately, if you hit all your milestone, you achieve your ultimate goal. How many understand this? Right? If you understand this, that is the key to Qi manifestation. Yeah, that's the key to Qi manifestation. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Christina, I think you can just click on the link in the comment section. Crystal is my team member, so she will help you with that. Yeah, or you can be in touch with Crystal, and I think Crystal can give you her number. By the way, Crystal is from Malaysia, so her contact number will be +60. All right, my team is from Malaysia, by the way. I'm Singaporean. I'm from Singapore, but I meet my team every month. Okay. Yeah. We'll need a revision. When next? James, you know who to contact, James. Yeah, just come. All right, just come back, guys. And by the way, this year I've upgraded my content. Weekend Qi Manifestation Masterclass. I included Qi, Feng Shui, and Bazi together. And after Qi Battle Mastery, I'm going to upgrade again. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of the GEM framework inside as well. Right, so just so you know, my Qi Manifestation Masterclass now, 2026 version, is very different from 2020 version. Right, I've been upgrading year after year after year after year. So for those students who say, oh, it's the same old, that's very normal lah. Yeah, because most people just like to say things without verifying the facts also. Yeah, so that's very normal. It's okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. But for those who came in and then they experience it themselves, that's where they literally can see the difference. I literally have one Grab driver that day, I think 2 months ago, he came in and we did a one-to-one interview. Right, until today, I'm still the one doing the interview mostly because I love to talk to people. I just love to know your story. I love to know, how I can help you. And the best way is through the one-to-one interview. Yeah, so he told me 3 years ago, he came for my weekend masterclass. He was driving Grab. He's very inspired by my story. But he couldn't afford to join my inner circle, right? Which I understand, right? But he didn't even come for the interview. So he's like, say that, he just knew he don't have the money, he was struggling, so he just don't even come for the interview at all. So that was 3 years ago. But he did mention the weekend masterclass, the manifestation. He has been manifesting for the last 3 years. And he has gotten results after results after results, like small things, right? So then he said, 3 years now, I'm ready to come back. So he finally came in and have a one-to-one with me. I didn't know because if he did 3 years ago, I might remember, right? Even though I talk to 1,000 over people now, sometimes I remember some of them, right? So yeah, and then he came in, and then I helped him to come in to the weekend, to the inner circle with a very, very special package. In fact, I've launched this package 2 years ago, and we have helped hundreds of students, right, to join us, to be part of the tribe, to learn, to improve their life, to become better, and things like that. Yeah, okay, cool. Yep. Is there any more question, everyone? Yeah, so Christina, I encourage you to talk to Crystal. You can click on the link and join us. You can fill in the form, or you can WhatsApp her. Yeah, anything. Yeah, more than happy for you to join us. Guys, if you can, please help to like and share this YouTube live or Facebook live. Help me like and share. That would be most appreciated, right? The goal of this weekly live is to reach out to more friends, more people out there. Like I said, June will be an interesting month. July will be interesting as well. All right, let's see. Yeah, and just so you know, I'm actually planning for 2027 already. In fact, I'm looking at some of the stars for 2027, and what's going to happen in the year of 2027. That day I just did a quick read into the feng shui chart and everything. Will be better than this year for sure, but things are still a bit stagnant. It's not out of the woods yet. I'll definitely talk more during Celestial Retreat 2026 this year. For those who are coming, you'll be excited to know we have some new things this year as well for everyone. All right, so we are planning the details now. Very excited for some of the updates. So this year, I am planning and going to give a very special gift for everyone. It will be the most epic welcome gift. I already decided. The cost is super high, by the way, but I'm going to give it to you. The only criteria is you need to confirm by a cut-off date. If you can't confirm by the cut-off date, I can't give you this gift because it's customized and it's very expensive, and I need to order early. So I need to order to the number of participants. I cannot order like 150 and at the end of the day I got 50 extra. I can't. My crystal will kill me. The warehouse will be full of this item because it's quite big, by the way, and you'll love it because it's very practical. You can use it, you can bring it to the retreat and for the rest of your life. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you more than that. I think James will be very excited about this. I just decided today I'm going to do it. All right, we're going to get in the orders. It's going to be customized with your name on top. So yes, okay, cool. All right, thank you everyone. Can I have Krista's number or email, please? Christina is in the comment section. All right, I think her number is, let me read out for you, +60 1233 96489. Maybe you can't see lah. Maybe you can't see the comment. Yeah, so let me read again, Christina, +60 1233 96489. Yeah. Okay. So everyone, if you can help like and share, that'd be great, for tonight's class. And please join us early for Celestial Retreat 2026. There's a cutoff date for this special gift. I just decided literally yesterday or today. Yeah, I just got the pricing. I found the source of this gift. I'll tell you the details. But you will love it for sure. It's customized to you. Okay. Thank you once again for joining tonight's live. Thanks for all your Q&A. Next week we are doing some special topic. I'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. For those who have not subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah. So and then you can get the live update from here. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you soon next week on the live with Roy Phay. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.